One day there was a girl named Liv Story, and she set out to do what she always swore she would. Save the world. And if she couldn't do that, which of course she can't, the least she was going to do was make things a little more entertaining around here.
Actually learned that I was born with some of my intestines in the wrong place. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to my journey through week 1 of Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. This program has been life-changing for artists and creatives of all kinds, and if you are human, that means you, so like this video and subscribe to my little baby channel as I heal my inner child and become a full-time creative. This is a 12-week program to help heal you from the shame and fear around creating and expressing yourself freely. A little bit cold even, because of how big that ice is. Good morning. It's about 5:22, says the microwave. So here I am doing the morning pages for the day, and the idea behind the morning pages is that it's 3 full-length stream of consciousness pages that you're not censoring, you're not thinking too much about, you don't have a censor going. Wait, hold on just a second. It's cold. It's cold. Am I drinking it if it's cold? Yeah, anyway, this does not need to be creative. Like Julia Cameron talks about how it is actually not supposed to be. If you're a poet or a writer or anything, get your grocery list out of the way. Get the gossip in your brain. You're supposed to be getting rid of the stuff that you don't need, that takes up the space that would normally be used to receive new ideas and inspiration and passion. Finally done with that. Towards that last page, you just get like scribbly and you're like, my hand hurts. I don't usually write like this. And then you get used to it. But like, and what's great about this is that this goes in like a closed notebook or just loose pages in a manila envelope. No one is supposed to read them, not even you. And that's great. Man, like, I don't know. Some of you might keep a dream journal or something, but every time I've tried to do that, I'm like, I just feel silly. Like, I enjoy my dreams while I'm in them, but the minute I try to like overthink about them, I'm like, this is boring. This does not sound fun. I just prefer to keep it in my head, but I like this method where I could just throw whatever I want in here. I'm never gonna look at it again. It's deeply freeing. So, I just got done working on some of the exercises in week 1, The Artist's Way, that I'm gonna work through today. And I started brainstorming on one. So I got like a good maybe 30 minutes of writing done. Proud of that. I feel like frustrated at my prose and my rhetoric, but like that's a part of this. Either way, now it's time to get ready for the day. I nanny today. Okay, it's like my bathroom. Can you see why I'm pissed about moving? Can you see why I'm furious? Node in Pisces is killing me. It's killing me. Me, the South Node in Virgo, it's killing me. Just go with the flow. It's killing me. Anyway, I think we're gonna get a sunset lamp in every room for the next place.
Getting mad about how early it is.
It's fine. No, I'll wear a belt. I feel like I've been on kind of a public artistic hiatus, and fashion is really one of the only things I've really allowed myself to step into and be proud of. How's the hair doing? Oh, she's good. She's fine. Great. This is gonna look weird with the trouser. Also, it's brown.
I've about had enough, and it's only 6 a.m.
Pull up my pants all day. I don't care. I could take these in with my sewing machine. Speaking of, let's introduce you to my sewing machine. This is her. My partner designs and makes these stickers, or some of them. This one's his too. It's my party. I'm fucking crying, and that's me working with the sewing machine sometimes. I like to do my makeup and my hair in here. Or my makeup and my sewing. It's kind of like, it's all costume at the end of the day. Mother RuPaul says, we're born naked and the rest is drag. Or, as Mother before him said, all the world is a stage. Could Shakespeare be Mother? I don't think so. Oh, we gotta moisturize. Kids, don't chew on these. They're not good for you. I love this Elemis toner. I give this a good old spritz to add hydration before I go in with my moisturizer that has sunscreen in it. And while it's still, make sure to get it in your mouth. It's necessary. It's still wet. I go in with my moisturizer. And I make sure get it on your hands. Put it on your hands. They need it. Yeah. And then we can get into doing makeup for the day. Ooh. This is my favorite perfume right now, but I'm running out. It's, you all know. Y'all know. And by y'all, it's not because you know because you've seen me. You know because it's popular. The closest thing I've found to smelling like my aunties. My Chamorro aunties. They've amber something. Amber something. And I would never ask them and they'll never tell me. It's their secret. But if I cannot, I feel it is necessary to my journey as a woman to go on that experience. Or like, you know, when you would grow up, I don't know, to like anyone out there, like, and you'd see either a woman in your family or a woman out in the world, and you're like, that's what I feel. If I was fleshing out into a woman, that's what I want. That's what I want. Sorry if that sounds weird.
Yeah, it definitely does.
My journey with clothes and makeup has been so integral to my journey as an artist. Like, I really grew up really not caring that much about it. I didn't, shout out to my mom, I didn't like feel the need to wear much makeup growing up. And in fact, I think like middle school, a little bit in high school, like I really looked down upon girls and people who would wear makeup every day or feel the need to. Like, I still don't feel like anyone should feel the need to, but like my sister was always more connected to her fashion and her beauty and her sense of makeup than I was from the get-go. She's a couple years, I have 3 little sisters, and Savannah's a couple years younger than me, a few. And I, out of like jealousy and projection and insecurity, like I just didn't, I would just look down upon her. I'm like, why do you feel the need to do that? We're going to Walmart. Why do you need to wear mascara for Walmart? Don't wear mascara for Walmart. But either way, it was just coming from a place of like, I don't know how to do these things. They don't feel liberating for me. Like, I don't understand it. And I just felt that it could only be for like other people, that it could only be validating for the male gaze, that it could only be validating for capitalism. And don't get me wrong, we could talk all day about beauty and the wellness industry and capitalism and all of it. But still here, I discovered in like the last couple years where I've had to be working like 10 hours a day, not being very creative on a regular basis, like getting up in the morning and choosing an outfit that I'm excited to wear, like, or like choosing one the night before that makes me excited to wake up in the morning and do something. That was like pivotal for me. Am I ever gonna get to these chia seeds? I don't know. I should probably do less tapping and more of this, but yeah, I just like, it's been a lot with like my journey with astrology too, learning how to step into the fact that as a performer, and like also, if you're someone who believes in astrology, like a Leo rising, like I naturally, I draw attention, and for my art form, that's a good thing, but like I feel like no one wants to grab attention at all times. No one wants to have to be bright and like making people's day and you know, catering to that. But you know, I was not feeling, people were looking at me anyway, people were observing me anyway, and so eventually I was just like, whatever, I'm going to learn how to have fun with this. And I started, like, when I went to school for acting, but, you know, I've taken a couple of years off. I was just getting really kind of jaded, and it was difficult after the pandemic to feel, I feel like a lot of my artist friends feel this way, to feel like you're doing things that matter and that you're not wasting time, energy, and money, not even just your own, but other people's, when people are struggling and getting sick, and you're like, and I hated all of the rhetoric that we get as we're graduating in those last 2 years, like, if you can imagine yourself doing anything else, go do that thing instead. Elitism, it's so gross, because what do you mean you just want to be an actor? What do you mean you just want to sit in front of audition rooms? What do you mean you just want to do, which, cool, if that is only what you want to do, great. But all in all, is that human? Like, and also, I like, question for all of the collaborators, directors, producers out there, do you want someone who's solely only focused on being one thing? And doth that capture human? Does it capture human to only want to be another person at all times? I was having a lot of trouble with that. Also, like, you know, my program was pretty good about, like, it's not about becoming someone else or anything. It's like, you have to, the reason you get casted is because you're carrying a body and an essence and a soul that they imagine a lot of that character has that same essence and same soul, and then you add things. Yes, there's an art to the transformative experience of acting, but also having to accept that you are carrying yourself into, no matter what, all of the parts of you, making peace with that, you know. So I had to take a couple years off, and also I was working, but I still craved the experience of, like, I still craved the experience of, you know, performing costume, a sense of, like, drama and theater, and that's where fashion and makeup really came through for me. Like, I work as a barista in the mornings, I have for the past couple years, and, you know, you are a community figure at that point. There is a performative aspect to any type of service, even this, like, just any type of customer service, really. And, you know, it was easier for me to get up and feel good in my body and, like, be a character and be myself, and have a good time doing it when I felt good about, and I felt expressive, like what I was bringing into the room today, like the outfit I chose, the makeup look I choose to do for that day, like, you know, it's something to look forward to. And that's what, so much of what I'm gonna make my content about, is that it's like, we really should be trying and striving to find the everyday creativity, the everyday passion that makes us, like, happy to be alive. You know, it's so difficult to feel those things these days if you're a person who is aware of the world and what is going on. And so, but, like, we also can't help anyone or serve anything if we don't, like, feel a purpose for being alive. And they want you to feel a sense of jadedness. They want you to not care about, they only want you to care and put in work into the things that could eventually make them money and make their lives easier. And they want you numb to the rest of your human experience that that they can't profit off of. And I abhor that. So I'm gonna be making a lot of content about personal self-expression, how to feel excited to wake up in your body and in your life on a day-to-day basis, even when you're not exactly where you want to be necessarily, even though you know this is a temporary stage. Like, but every day matters still. And I think that, like, I needed to find the artist within me before I go and I act again and I perform again, which I'm starting to get into again now. But before I did that, I have to find out, why do I want to do art in the first place? And I was not gonna let elitist gatekeeping shit like, go do something else if you can imagine doing something else. No. And my sister put it, we were talking about this, and she put it in a really lovely way. Maybe you should only try to pursue this professionally if you can't imagine your life without it. Not that it's the only thing you're gonna do, because that's crazy. Because also, if you're built, like, it's an industry problem if you have to solely focus on being an auditioner to survive. Like, again, it's all of that saying, like, if you truly make it, like, you have to, it's the accolades, it's the money, it's the who knows who, and yet there are artists everywhere and everyone is a storyteller, and we just pretend that that's for the elite, because, you know, it's only the privileged who can afford to make that 100% of who they are. Anyway, that's my 7 a.m. spiel. That's my soapbox for that. This is a hydrating skin tint that I got for the summer. I'm gonna keep it pretty light. I don't do a lot of like cream baking or anything like that, but I needed something to bring the glow a little bit. And then along with that, I got this palette by Hourglass, and it's a bronzer highlighter palette that you can sweep across, and it's super, this is really when you're not doing like sharp contour. This is just like my everyday summer, keeping it light, and still kind of serving. I gotta stop looking at my viewfinder across the darker ones here. And she told me to do like, first get a full sweep and then go a little bit more into the contour areas. Spritz CDS. Ooh, like $6. You can see how much highlight I go for. I have a problem. I need the cheekbones to pop. I need to look like a walking sun. Sorry, I'm into it. I do astrology readings for like fashion and makeup and like confidence. And you know, so you get familiar with how to bring out the features of each sign and energy and what complements the face, different clothes. And I found that my Leo placements, they love a shimmer. I love a shimmer, not like glitter, but shimmer. I'd be having a lot of fun with that. I probably go too close to my eye, making it look like my eyes are blushing, but you know, it's not too far off. And I definitely have blush blindness and don't care. Wear what you want. Do my nose. And then it'll get on my coffee cup later, which is always a nice touch. If you're asking me to care, you came to the wrong, like if you're asking me to overthink what people are going to think about me, you came to the wrong channel. You might want to head somewhere else. because at the end of the day, I took the advice they gave us in elementary school art class to heart, which is when you make a little mistake, you just make it a part of the thing. And then happy accidents, as Bob Ross says. Where's my fan? A little bit about me while I'm doing this. Behind me is a huge bookshelf. I'm a huge book collector. I do read. I skim books often. I'm just getting back into like making it a habit, trying to do it for 30 minutes, an hour a day. But some of my favorite genres, like I get through audiobooks pretty easily. I love memoirs. I love scary things. I love folklore. I dream of starting a podcast where I connect like symbols and folklore throughout the world, both like new and old. And I talk to people. Who knows what my face is doing there? I like it though. Either way, give me any of your book recommendations that sound good under those topics. Also, this is the best setting powder in the world. Not advertised, but... The other day I went to a Oscars party, and my friend and I had used this baking powder for the first time. And so rude for my friend Matt to show up with delicious what was it, Biscoff muffins that he made, and everyone else was so focused on Matt's baking that no one noticed my bake, but it's okay. No hard feelings, Matt.
Watch your back, Matt.
Now she's cooking. Oh, I gotta be okay. Great. I go in with a light one first, just to brighten up the eye. Probably just go in with a light pink here to match my pants, or you know, pull the colors together. I'm just gonna use my fingers today. If it's like a casual day and I'm just adding some color to my eyes, I'm gonna throw on some mascara, I'll just use my fingers, honestly. I'm not very good with brushes, I feel. Yet. I've tried to like start doing that if I feel like I'm still gaining a skill or I don't have one yet, but I think one day I might want to do it. I try not to like talk myself down. I'll try to be like, I'm not excellent at that yet. You know, speak it. Alright, that's fine. A little bit of that. I'm gonna go in with more shimmer. I love shimmer. This is the funny girl part of this palette. It's the shiny one right here. I love gold. I don't think I own much like real gold, but like I just mean the color and the essence, the vibe. I always do a little bit of my corners. Yeah, I don't know if it's still in right now or not. I don't really care. Forehead's popping off today. It's fine. I got this Mary Kay mascara from, she actually signed our will. And then she we started connecting, and now she's my Mary Kay rep. Shout out to Miss Leah Walker. Love you, girl. So I don't think I've sang, performed in maybe a couple of years. I think the last time was my recital graduating in 2022. Oh my god. That's so sad. That's so sad. No wonder I'm sad. Oh my gosh. Either way, there's an open mic on Friday. This Friday. That my friend is hosting. I'm gonna go to the open mic. I'm gonna sing Guilty as Sin. And I'm just so excited to be on, to just, I feel like I'm so much more free in my body than I was a few years ago. I feel, honestly, even though I haven't really acted very much, in real life, in person, you know, doing like you know, organized theater, I feel like I am a much stronger actor than I was before. I feel just more in tune to who I am. I feel more aligned in my body, like I can more easily express what's coming through. And, you know, I think even though, you know, it's sad that I've had to take some time off, like, I think it was for the better. I do believe in timing, and I even knew when I was graduating that, like, I was like, oh God, I'm taking a couple years off, aren't I? Because I could just feel myself being too scared and also not ready to pursue those first couple years out. And, you know, maybe I should have, but either way I'm happier here. I just focused on building my community and my home here, and that's been fine for a while, but I think I just need to full send into creativity again. I think I'm just gonna, the lighting, oh my God. I think I'm just gonna busk in the streets. I think I'm just gonna, not just, obviously. I'm gonna busk in the streets though. I'm gonna go to open mics. I'm gonna post TikToks and covers, and I'm so sick of not performing. I'm so sick of not creating. I don't think I can do it anymore. I don't think I can wait anymore. It's time, and that's how I know it's time. This essence that they're trying to capture when they say when you can't imagine yourself doing anything else, this is what they're trying to capture. But it's not that I can't imagine doing anything else, it's that I'm gonna do it all. Am I doing a lip today? Or am I just wanting to try this pencil? No, don't do a lip today. But just look at that color. Anyway. I think that's pretty much the makeup for today. It's pretty simple. Just an everyday look. Let's see how my bangs are holding up. That's fine. Yeah. Forehead. I mean, my forehead has gotten a bit bigger in the last couple of years. My hairline is, she's been stressed. But that's okay. I'm gonna grow out my bangs after this. Like, I'm trying to grow them out now because I'm ready to have them out of my face, but it was a nice winter vibe. Okay, what time is it? I think I'm gonna go try to track myself down a white mocha and head to work. Is it cloudy today? This is so millennial of me. I'm 25. We are, if you enjoy. I work in an apartment building. There's someone here. That's so annoying for me. I am carrying so much stuff at all times. I have 3 bags, maybe 2. Hello?
One of the best parts of my day.
May just went to the podiatrist for a little bit. I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to work through some of these questions in the artist way. Take these out. So there's a series of activities that Julia Cameron has us do here each week. And you can kind of do them at your pace. Man, this is also a part. Tomorrow I need to wake up and do these affirmations. Ugh, can't even see with the white balance there, but. And you can substitute here, like if you are someone who doesn't resonate with the like concepts or terminology of God, you could use source, you could use spirit, you could use universe, you could use whatever really resonates for you, because no matter what on this journey, as humans and as creators and as creatives, we like, it's just wherever we're getting like the sense of connection, the sense of energy, however you kind of relate to that. Some of the ones that stand out to me here in the affirmations: I am a channel for God's creativity and my work comes to good. My dreams come from God and God has the power to accomplish them. I personally like to substitute like the universe or spirit. It helps me kind of like unify it as less of a hierarchy and more of a presence and a stasis between people. Not a stasis because it's all changing, but creativity is the creator's will for me. My creativity heals myself and others. Yeah, I can see a lot of these, so I'll try to do these after my morning pages every day and maybe before bed. Another important part of the artist way is actually taking the time to go out of your way to seek out new experiences and things that inspire you. It's getting alone time with the muse and like yourself, like actually putting aside time to say, this is creative time, this is inspiration time, and that's what the artist date is all about. I've done a couple artist dates, like I've mentioned that I've never done the 12-week program as is, but I've had like I've had stints of doing pages for a long time. I think my longest streak was like 3 months straight of doing morning pages. And I've done a couple artist dates, but I'm excited like to plan little adventures for myself. And she makes an emphasis here, like trying not to spend too much money and use it and like draining more of your energy and more of your effort that way. But it's supposed to show you that you're capable of finding creativity anywhere, and that you're like capable of using your imagination, like, and giving yourself a very small budget is a part of that. Like, you can treat yourself sometimes, I think, but seeking out a free museum day, or going for a walk in in a botanical garden, or just a normal park. It's being crafty and finding inspiration, like anywhere you can find it, and like going out of your way to give yourself that time. It's telling your brain that you're worth that investment, and telling your inner child, your inner artist, that yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm making time for you in all of the hustle and bustle of life. I'm making time for you. I'm gonna go on my artist date on Saturday because I have the day off. I don't know where I'll go yet. I'm kind of inclined to the botanical gardens, and I think it's up north. I'm thinking the botanical gardens, or yeah, that's really calling to me. I've also never been to the Chicago Public Library, like the big one downtown. That's another option. It's on the brain. Okay, this exercise I want to focus on today is a time travel exercise, and this whole journey is about healing your inner child and going on that journey and seeing where we let go of our sense of imagination and our sense of play and freedom and creativity. So this says, list 3 old enemies of your creative self-worth. Please be as specific as possible in doing this exercise. Your historic monsters are the building blocks of your negative beliefs. More monsters will come to you as you work through your recovery. It is necessary to acknowledge the creative injuries and grieve them. Otherwise, they become creative scar tissue and block your growth. I really resonate with that like image that she just used, the creative scar tissue, it feels, for me, I still need to figure out like the three that like come to mind when like enemies of my creative self-worth. But you know, first and foremost, like I feel the first ones that come up for me, I feel that sense of like restriction, and like every time I'm trying to write and like be free in my wording and my expression and my ideas, like I feel that sense of like, this is useless. You're not doing something productive right now. You're wasting your time. You're acting like a child. Like all of that is kind of wound up in it. So list 3 enemies and then tell the story of it. And I started doing that this morning with my 5th grade teacher. No tea, no shade to him. I'm not even going to say his name. Not that he would ever watch this or anyone would ever track him down, but it's not his fault. He's an idea. He's a shadow. He's a character. Either way. So I need to list 3 enemies of my creative self-worth, write the horror story about the one, and you know, I'll go deeper into this one today. And then after that, to write a letter to the editor in my defense. Mail it to yourself. It's great and fun to write this letter in the voice of your wounded artist child. To whom it may concern, Sister Ann Rita is a jerk and has pig eyes, and I too can spell. That's funny. Okay, I guess we'll start here. I think I'll do a few of these today and a few of these tomorrow. Give ourselves some space. So here I am just journaling on the question at the end of week 1 in the book that goes as follows. I put it on the screen here. This is about moments in your life that you internalized a creative enemy, people who were feeling diminutive of your self-worth, and moments that you started to internalize beliefs that aren't necessarily true about creativity. And these come out in what Cameron calls blurts. Some of the blurts she gives as examples, if like, let's say I'm asking myself, what happens if I become a full-time artist and give in to what excites me and inspires me? Everyone will hate me. I'll go crazy. I don't have good enough ideas. These are all reasons you can imagine that are fake why one could not become an artist or be an artist. Make sure that you're really tending to your body and taking moments to pause and shake it out here, since we are treading the waters of vulnerability and
so I just kind of
trauma, shame, all these things. Give yourself
in 5th grade
space and patience.
So they start like
to process all of
standardized
this.
testing you when you're in like 3rd or 4th grade, but it like gets really serious in 5th grade, at least in Colorado at that time. And I remember being given like the essay questions for a standardized test for the one for the state, and you know, up until that point I had always been so like writing and creative writing just came so freely to me. I had always had a very strong voice in my writing, and I was readily validated and rewarded for that. And then so I go and I take the standardized test, and I think the question was about if there was a fight between like 2 of your friends, and I don't know what the situation was, obviously, like how you would handle it. And instead of like writing argumentatively or expositorily, as that word literally haunts my dreams, because I remember sitting with my parents at this parent-teacher conference after it became clear I was struggling to write seriously, expositorily, argumentatively, whatever you want to call it. But like my parents sitting on both sides of me, and we're at like our desk. There's like 4 little desks pushed together, and he's sitting like across, like leaning over like this at me. And parents are on each side, and you just feel trapped. And he's like, and I don't even know what he said. Obviously, this was over a decade ago. So like, who knows? But you know, what I absorbed is like, there was time for this. It was okay to be good at this in like first and second grade, but in order to succeed in school and in the world, you have to be more serious. And I really internalized, no matter what they said, what I heard in that moment was like, all of the gifts that you've come to this earth with that make you feel so much freedom and power and happiness, they can't help anyone. They can't help you. They can't like help the world. They can't change anything. It made me feel stupid, and I imagine the standardized test people, the auditors in the state, and all of this is for tax reasons. No one gives about those grades, but I was worried this was going to go on my permanent record, that like in my permanent file would be like, she wrote a fiction story where she should have wrote expository. She's stupid. And probably a little bit on the spectrum. And you know, they'd be right. That's fine. But like, honestly, I just, even at that age, like, you know, I've always like ridden this weird line between like not caring what people say, insisting on my own life experience above people's opinions and everything. But yet my Scorpio moon is so private and gets so embarrassed. It's so attuned to how people subconsciously treat other people, and and that's a curse. It's a curse to be like, and that's part of the inner critic, this inner censor that she goes into. I wonder if it's in week 2, but my inner critic is so strong, like so loud. I do not even, my therapist asked me to detangle my inner critic from my own voice. I'm like, that's just me. What are you talking about? That's just me talking to myself. And you know, there's a lot to go through here, but I felt the echoes of this memory in 5th grade, like during the pandemic. Like, it was halfway through and I was pursuing my acting degree, and such a silly thing. It's not silly. I'm very thankful for my degree, because I feel like it's a degree in human. And during the pandemic, like, I think a lot of my peers will attest to this, or a lot of artists, like, when so much is, like, people are losing people left and right, and there's turmoil and anger and disconnection, and, you know, now, like, a recession, like, how am I supposed to feel like what I'm doing creatively is making a difference? And I'm really interested in, like, taking theater and art and filmmaking and all of it and further giving it to the people and separating the elitism. Because, like, why do the best films have to have budgets of billions?
Well, it should be to pay the creators and production team.
There's an art to
and also the
scrappiness
communities they are telling stories
and
about.
accessibility.
But I have a feeling that's not where
I
all
need
the
that.
money
I
goes,
want to
you
be a
know.
part of that. Anyway, that's how I feel. Here's the full fit. Here's the makeup close-up. I definitely used a lot of blush. It's fine. It's fine.
Thursday, March 20th,
Ignore my hair.
2025.
I'm so angry right now. It was 70 degrees this weekend. It was 70 degrees this weekend. It was 70 degrees. And now there's snow outside again. Oh, dude. No, I'm so mad. My morning pages are going to hear about this.
Good morning. It's snowing outside, and I'm pissed. Big stretch.
I know. Oh, I know. I know. And here's what's really great about the morning pages is now I feel like my brain is now feeding me not clean content, obviously. It's feeding me lyrics, it's feeding me poetry. I am like getting my ideas because I got all the crap out about what I have to do today, tomorrow, what's stressing me out, state of the world.
Yuck, I have to do my taxes today. Yuck this country, yuck this world and its violence and greed. Don't cuss, kids.
Either way, now I have a song in my head. I guess I'll like do a voice memo of the rough, you know, the idea. I don't blame you for needing space from me, baby. Even my therapist has been ghosting me lately. I have to stop right there, but wouldn't it be so cool if someday like this song comes out and like people
Getting
are
ready
watching this
to
video and this song's
go to
great.
work,
Anyway, I'm
and
just
traffic has
playing.
been bad, so I'm taking this opportunity to put together my busking playlist for this summer because I need to because the playlist is fire, but I definitely need to get myself vocally prepared for it again. Got a little bit of Taylor, Sabrina, Gracie. I'm gonna put Cowboy Take Me Away, a few other country songs on there. Diversify a few things, but I think it's strong. People want to hear the popular stuff, and I can sing the popular stuff. We're going with it. All right, it's time for the next big question for the week. This time I'm reflecting on the creative champions of my self-worth. This is how the question goes, and you know, luckily I have this view app to look at, but it was much easier for me to write on this one. I went for a lot longer of a time, and I feel like I have more stories of support, which was something really nice after a couple days of living in a funk. Big revelation here. So there's also an extra. Yesterday I went through the enemies of my creative self-worth, and you know, I could find them, but really like there's only a couple. And then it asks about your champions of your creativity, teachers, mentors, parents, people who saw your talent and saw who you were and like encouraged that, and like what compliments they gave you, how they supported you, how they made you believe in yourself. I have so many here, and I'm just like, and I've always known this, like I am just so grateful for the insane amount of love and support I've always received about my talent and my gifts, and my parents always like fully have believed in me. You know, we might disagree about like, you know, how I choose to do it, but they still ultimately just want me to be happy. And I think I was writing about that, and I was like, I think what terrified me the most was the lack of pushback I was getting, the amount of confirmation I was getting on all sides. I think it was both the fear of the inevitability of my success, and then also, like, of course, all the fear of rejection that, like, everyone is lying to you. I just heard in my voice as I was writing, like, I feel like everyone was lying. I feel like everyone was messing with you. Like, you're just not in on the joke. And that's not true, obviously, but like when you feel like the entire world is in on a joke and you're the joke, and then they're all entertained by you, it's hard not to believe they're not laughing at you at your expense. And I don't mind being laughed at, I guess. I feel like I'm ridiculous all day. I make a fool of myself. I have a character within me that is a bimbo to override all of the overthinking I do. Like, I can be her. I can play her on stage. I can play her in a cafe. But if I bare my soul to someone and they laugh, or just are disgusted, even worse. Yeah. So, like, this thing, I just felt like everyone was lying. It's hard, like, I don't trust anyone, it feels like. You can tell it's morning, because I'm in a hood. Friday. It's Friday, and I have therapy.
Now we are in a Mercury-Venus retrograde. Also, an eclipse cycle that was on my degree of Virgo.
What in my ever-loving
Almost,
name is she
pretty much.
talking about?
Anyway. How are you doing? I need to do my morning pages. It's time. Focus in. Do my morning pages. Do my affirmations. We can do this. Oh my god.
Currently headed to 3 different apartment tours, which will be so fun. I'm not stressed.
Oh no, that don't make me see what I want, slip slide to it swiftly. Dumps it in my hips, so I take back to my bag of tricks, then I flip.
My phone was not going to stop playing that for a second. I think that's hilarious. Listen, I'm freaked out. And I'm trying to go into it with a sense of abundance, and I'm going to like listen to some good music and put myself in some good vibes. But this house means a lot to me. We've grown a lot here. I imagined us here for a long time, and I think I had a skewed idea of how long someone stays in each place. Especially like in the city. Like, I grew up in a pretty small town, and I don't know. I'm an earth sign. I don't like moving. God. Okay. Either way, I'm gonna put the phone down and get to my thing. Yay. Y'all, I gotta be honest. It's been a good day. Oh God. I did not do my morning pages. I know I said I was going to, and then I didn't. To be honest, I woke up a little bit later because I stayed out and went to pro wrestling, and then
Sorry, the
I
horror
got distracted editing this video actually. But it's been a good day. I had therapy for the first time in a while. That was good. And and by good I mean I was like laughing hysterically. And then I nannied, short day, went to a few apartment tours, and I got an application. We got an application in for a place I really loved, and I'm like manifesting so hard for. I would really like to have that. I'd really like to have that. Okay. Anyway, now I'm
Hoping
going to
this
an
one
open
will
mic. It's gonna be
come to
chill. Only a
fruition,
couple people
so
there,
I can
and
share it
haven't
with
sang
you
in front of
guys
people in like
someday.
3 years, so it'll be fun. Maybe I can do a couple things and just stick around since there's gonna be so few people.
There would be no
Yeah.
open mic that night.
I'm excited.
But at least she tried.
Okay, love you guys. I saw a TikTok the other day. Like, we are doing less cussing in 2025 and taking on like old man terms like Christ Almighty and go brother and like big whoop and like so which one should I choose?
Saturday, March 22nd,
Morning.
2025. Enjoy the sound of Junie eating breakfast,
Friday.
lol. She lied.
No. Gosh, it's Saturday. I finally have a day off today. Today is my artist day. I have lots of stuff to get done for my small business, and it's time to do morning pages. It's time to page. It's time to actually do it.
She would not go on to do her
about,
morning pages.
spooky house places, and I was like, hot take, I would rather have a basement than an attic.
Too bad. No, babe. No,
Too
babe.
bad.
It's beautiful up there. It's not a.
no,
It's
I know.
dusty, but it's a
Well, yeah.
good attic. I'm telling
No,
you,
no.
I could film up there, or like we could put the book. I do not know, but we could definitely have. We wouldn't have to get rid of so much. Like, there's so much storage space up there.
Yeah.
We're gonna go pick up a plant from our friend and meet her baby, who the plant is toxic for, which is why we're getting the plant. And then I gotta go CVS. We go to Asian Market. We go to Alchemy Arts. I do not know what the order of events of these things, but it will be fun. She was one of the happiest. I'm so happy we met her. She's so happy and engaged, and now we have a plant.
And now we have a plan.
We have a plant that is toxic for her. We were looking for an anti-baby plant, so it's perfect. Ooh, babe. Story of the jumping mouse. That's sick. That's sick. I want one. Empanada. It's cool. Horchata latte, hot. Got several empanadas. And the burrito.
You know, honey. Good.
That's what I like to see. Good morning.
I like these guys.
They're cute.
Just It's not gunshots, it's construction noise.
I didn't think it was gunshots.
I know I'm saying that for the viewers.
I always get lost in
I hate the intersections in this city.
store. They have
They're
the
not
most
fun.
beautiful collection
But I love it here.
of oils
I will
from
not be
all over the
leaving.
world, and this is me
Oh,
sniffing
for at least a
There
while.
were worse intersections in Oklahoma City.
So true. We are here. We just dropped Jonah off at work. We're in Lakeview. Yeah, this is Lakeview. I saw there's a Barnes & Noble down the street, and Barnes & Noble's the only thing standing between Amazon owning, pretty much having capital, like monopoly over the entire book industry. So support your local bookstores and then support Barnes & Noble. Sorry I didn't do any filming in there. I was zoned out and focusing on other things. All right, here's what I got. The first thing that caught my attention that I picked up, oh, this is called the Dream Hotel. And, oh wow, I think it's gonna freak me out and make me regret how careless I've been with my, you know, social media, phone. Sarah's just landed at LAX, returning home from a conference abroad when agents from the Risk Assessment Administration pull her aside to inform her that she'll soon commit a crime. Using data from her dreams, they have their algorithm has determined that she's at imminent risk of harming the person she loves most, her husband. For his safety, she must be kept under observation for 21 days. The era of surveillance and, you know, the other thing I got in the psychology section, The Art of Loving, and this psychologist talks about how we have been deprived of this human skill because we try to reserve it just for romance. We don't know how to do it on a day-to-day basis. We feel kind of uncomfortable with that, and that's something I really try to lead with. Imagine like a grid, and all these different types of relationships could exist on it, like romantic, physical, platonic, creative relationship, and you could throw a dart at this web and shoot, and it'll have different varying amounts of like what kind of relationship it is. I think that's really special, and like we deprive ourselves of we just have platonic and we have romantic and only sexual can exist in certain. There's so much in between.
Later that night,
One thought for the fellow artists who are trying to detangle themselves from the ideals of capitalism. I'm reading Just Getting Started in the Art of Loving by Eric Fromm, and it says here in the introduction that for the whole of his life he devoted to his mornings to activities that could not make money, to study and quiet thought. He was born in 1900 to Orthodox Jewish parents in Frankfurt, so like was keenly aware of all the authoritarianism on the rise, and has written books about losing oneself to, you know, the economy and to the great machine. And I'm very excited to read everything that's in here. But imagine committing a whole part of your day, making sure that when you're being creative for at least part of it, it's not for the things that can make you money, that you literally can't. Just studying or just sitting with your thoughts and getting back to the human right of your time. Crazy.
Sunday, March 23rd, 2025.
Need everyone to bear witness.
Can the science side of YT explain this tech phenomena in the comments, please? Thanks, XOXO.
Just so we all know. Unacceptable.
I don't think I'll do any makeup this morning. It's kind of crazy to put makeup on before 4 a.m. I mean, no tea, no shade. I just don't know if I have the gusto.
Lesson number 1, don't get distracted before doing your morning pages. Don't look at your phone before you're doing morning pages, or else you find out that...
This is a perfect example of a moment in which Liv could have been doing her morning pages instead of yapping her face off. Alas, she chose the latter. Anyway, here is the most beautiful dog in the world and an overview for week 1.
This is the finished little simple look for today. I don't really know why I did it other than I felt like it. It's been a great first week of doing the artist way. I already even just capturing what I'm doing, getting up and actually being mindful about attempting to do the morning pages. To be honest, I definitely got distracted a couple mornings, but I think the program and anything in life, habit building, it's just step by step, and it's okay if you miss one day. Today I had to get up at 3:30 and to work at 4:30, and I got distracted on my phone, and there are days that you miss, but the goal is, and James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, but if you have to miss one day, try not to miss 2 days, because one day can be a mistake. 2 days is the beginning of the start of a new negative habit. It's trying to keep the streak as many days as possible. That's kind of my goal for this next week. After a certain point, the stream of consciousness thing became, we've missed, the train has left the station. When you wake up, your brain's all squishy, and in, the theta, it's theta. When you wake up, you're still in theta wave state, and that's why people do their manifestations or their meditation or their morning pages during this time, because it's still very malleable, and why it's so important to be careful about what you absorb in that first hour. Best do some affirmations. Personally, I'm going to use the universe to speak about the source, the spirit, the creative energy, God, whatever it is that makes your soul sing. That's what we're talking about here. Number 1,
I am a channel for the universe's creativity, and my work comes to good.
And my work comes to good.
2,
my dreams come from the universe,
and
the
I have
universe
the power to accomplish them.
Has the power to accomplish them.
3,
as I create and listen,
I will be led.
I will be led.
4,
creativity is the creator's will for me.
5,
my creativity heals myself and others. Yeah, that one I'm going to keep.
8,
I am allowed to nurture my artist.
7,
through the use of a few simple tools,
my creativity will flourish. 8,
through the use of my creativity, I serve the spirit.
9,
my creativity always leads me to truth and love. I like that one too.
10, my creativity leads me to forgiveness and self-forgiveness. 11, there is a divine plan of goodness for me. 12,
there's a divine plan of goodness for my work. As I listen to the creator within,
I will be led. 14,
as I listen to my creativity,
I am led to my creator.
As I'm doing them. Clock in. Click in. Lock in. No more clocking in. We're just locking in. I listen to my creativity.
As I listen to my creativity, I am led to my creator. 15, I am willing to creative. 16, I am willing to let myself create. 17, I am willing to let the spirit create through me. 18, I am willing to be of service through my creativity. 19, I am willing to experience my creative energy. 20,
I highly suggest you guys just get this book. It's pretty widely regarded as Bible among artists, and it's one you're going to return back to over and over again. So there's one exercise in here called Imaginary Lives in week 1 of recovering a sense of safety, and she says don't overthink it. So I sure didn't. Let me give you my 10. She says 5 and I just rattled off. So, prolific romance author. That one might still be in the cards, we never know. Mermaid. I wish I could say the same. Cruise ship MC, but it's important that I speak 5 different languages if I do that. Professional dancer. I love dancing, but I don't know, my coordination, my rhythm, something is off. Okay, what else? I have surfer. Not even professional. Just like, that's what he does. That's what I do. I guess I'm a guy in that timeline. Train hobo. Medieval court jester. Lewis and Clark. I have a theory that me and Jonah, my partner, were Lewis and Clark in another timeline. In that, well, like, we're reincarnated. Private chef. I can't, like, I used to say I burn cereal, but, like, I watch private chefs on TikTok, and if I was, like, rich, like, my first big purchase if I was rich would be private chef. For sure. But also I want to do that. Detective. This was definitely, like, if I was not an artist, that's what I would be doing. Because let's be real, I love the study of humans. And that's not exactly that. I love mysteries. Speaking of past lives, me and Agatha Christie have the same birthday, and sometimes I feel real connected to her too. So yeah, overall, good
So
week.
Liv,
Oh, it's you. Jeez.
you've officially been trying for a week. This whole artist thing. So tell me, how will you try to be better?
Do better at the morning pages.
Go on.
Yeah, okay. Go on a more mindful artist date.
Yes. Some focus would be good for you. How about one more?
Read more. I have so many books, and I want to do that.
Good. And what did you learn this week?
Don't get scammed on the internet. Promise, if it's way, way, way too good to be true, it probably is. And another thing, transfer footage more often. Get a hard drive. I have so much enjoyed making this video, capturing this journey for the first week. I am so excited to get into it and all of the things that it will bring up and that we'll delve into. I'm excited to be documenting it with you. I hope you have a good week. And,
Not too good.
Don't work too hard.
Working hard is everything,
Have some fun.
but not too much fun.
And go make something for you. Love you guys. Have a good one.